you're ready.
Time is 3:30, and with that, I will call to order the Courts and Public Safety Committee of the Muskegon County Board of Commissioners for March 3, 2020. Second item is the roll call, please.
Commissioner Foster,
Here.
Commissioner Hubby Wright,
Here.
Chairman Hughes, here. Commissioner Lang, Commissioner Tony, here. Commissioner Nash,
Here.
Commissioner Skolnick,
Here.
Commissioner Snyder,
Here.
Commissioner Wilkins.
Here.
Next item is number 3, approval of the minutes of the meeting of February 4, 2020.
So moved.
moved. Second.
Comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. Next is public comment on an agenda item. Does anyone in the public have a comment on an agenda item? This is Ways and Means. If you have I see a hand up back there. If you have a comment on an agenda item on Ways and Means, please step up.
Public safety.
And public safety.
Public safety.
Oh, well.
All right.
Public safety. Even Joe Biden makes.
Seeing none, we'll move on to items for consideration. The first one is CPS 20/03-13 from the sheriff to authorize the board chairperson to sign the contract with Michigan Department of Corrections and accept the fiscal year 20 community corrections grant in the amount of $153,325.
So moved.
Support.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. Next is CPS 20/03-14 from the sheriff to authorize the sheriff's office to replace one 2009 Ford Crown Victoria with the assistance of emergency services. Use MI deal pricing on the bidding process and to lease the Ford AWD Interceptive SUV police vehicle from Ford Credit or a leasing company most advantageous to the county and amend the budget accordingly.
So moved.
So moved.
Questions or comments?
I do have one question on that. It says, with the assistance of emergency services. What does that mean? Oh,
Good afternoon, Michael Poolen, County Sheriff. The Emergency Services is the company we use to service our vehicles.
okay, but you're going to replace one of them. What does emergency services have to do with it?
Well, they're involved one in the through the Ford leasing. They helped us with that, and I mean they're the ones they help us find the vehicles
Oh,
and
okay.
get the new ones.
So you're not
basically.
going to go through my deal, or you are?
No, the lease we're going to set on there in motion about whatever's going to be most advantageous
Oh, okay.
to the county.
Okay.
I don't have it here in front of me. I just
it
that
says-
is the Ford Credit. Is that?
Oh,
that
and you
would-
you
that
already
will-
know
yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's good.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no.
No.
Believe the motion passes. Next item is CPS 20/03-15 from the sheriff to authorize the sheriff's office to lease 3 road-ready Ford AWD Interceptor SUVs with all equipment and lettering with the assistance of the board approved sheriff vehicle maintenance provider. Further authorize the sheriff's office to lease these police interceptors from Ford Motor Credit or a leasing company most advantageous to the county for a term of 5 years with a $1 buyout at the termination of the lease.
So moved.
Questions or comments?
I have one other question on that. Who is the board-approved sheriff vehicle maintenance provider? Is that emergency
Emergency
services?
Services, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Any further questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Say no.
No.
The motion passes. Next is CPS 20/03-16 from the Public Defender to authorize the Public Defender's Office to amend contracts with attorneys Belinda Barbier and Michael Flynn for neglect and abuse and juvenile delinquency conflict attorney services. Ms. Barbier's amended contract will be for $30,000 annually, and Mr. Flynn's contract will be for $23,000 annually.
So move. Support.
Yes.
Um, could someone please explain what the difference is in the annual pay?
Yes, Amanda Mateer, Public Defender's Office. Actually, Commissioner Wilkins asked me the same thing last week. So we have 3 family court judges, and for every neglect abuse case, I need at least 1 attorney for the mother, 1 attorney for the father, 1 attorney for the guardian ad litem representing the children. What happened back in 2016, the Public Defender's Office shifted from being representing the children primarily. We now primarily represent whichever parent is what I would call the primary respondent, the person having physical custody, because a lot of times both parents are in the home. The difference comes in is because the guardian ad litem contract, which is what Ms. Barbier has, I require her in addition to, as part of her contract, she's on call for our 1 o'clock preliminary examination. So if children get removed from a home, we have to have a hearing the following day or the day of at 1 o'clock. She's required to be on call for that, whereas Mr. Flynn is not. Mr. Flynn gets what I call the secondary parent. So if there is another parent, I take parent number 1, Ms. Barbier takes the child, Mr. Flynn gets that extra parent. So his caseload is not the same size as the child's.
I knew there was a good reason.
I have a question too.
Oh,
Did
I'm sorry.
did these go up or down or stay the same? Or
What we're doing is we're asking them to go up, and the reason why is that 2 years ago the family court judges shifted their caseloads. Judge Sprader had a lot of probate caseloads, and this is regards to Judge Sprader. Ms. Barbier and Mr. Flynn are my contract attorneys in Judge Sprader. So 2 years ago the judges shifted their caseloads, said she had too many probate, so they shifted these neglect abuse cases so that Judge Pittman and Judge Hoekstra had, is it 37%? I think Judge Sprader then only had 26%, and then Judge Pittman, Judge Hoekstra took 37% each. Well, now the judges have decided to shift it back, so it's all equal 33%. And when I discussed this with Fred Johnson, my boss, we decided, because we had it within the budget, it's only $8,000 in addition to, the family court just got approved for some Title IV-E reimbursement funding grant that I can use on child welfare cases. So we have it in the budget, but I'm going to try to use that grant money to offset the $8,000.
thank you.
Anything further? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. Next is CPS 20/03-17 from the Public Defender to authorize the Public Defender's Office to replace a legal secretary 1 position with a legal secretary 2 position effective January 1, 2020.
So move.
Second.
Questions or comments?
I do. Can I ask why the change?
Amanda Mateer, Public Defender's Office. So with the MIDC requirements, this big grant that has been funding us, Ms. Holka has taken on additional duties. She's also doing some payments, as well as we just got a new case management system that the MIDC paid for called Defender Data. She has taken the lead on that, so she has additional duties outside of what she was doing, and the MIDC budget allows for us to make this increase.
So it's grant funded.
Yes,
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no.
No.
The motion passes. Next is old business. Is there any old business?
I'd just like to make a comment on Amanda's comments. You know, when she talked about you have to have a attorney for the father and an attorney for the mother, I went to one of the district court I get referees one time, and they had to have an attorney for the kids, an attorney for the mom, and there were three dads. One was in the county jail, one was in the state facility, and one was there. So each one of those had to be different. So I can see where I mean it's extremely difficult sometimes. I just wanted to mention that about
Okay.
that.
Any other old business? Any new business? New business? Seeing none? Public comment? Anyone have public comment?
My name is Larry Hausman. I live in Norton Shores. If it appears that I'm reading what I prepared, I probably will be doing more of that than trying to wing it. But I want to make sure I say what I think. I'm part of a growing number of Muskegon County residents who are becoming extremely frustrated with decisions made by our Board of Commissioners. There have been several issues that have been brought to the board recently that are not given a fair chance to be considered. Some examples are two very important issues to many of us, the Second Amendment and sanctuary counties. The majority of the board squelched both of these without allowing any discussion. By all appearances, this was orchestrated ahead of time by all but one commissioner. We have 9 commissioners, 4 Republicans and 5 Democrats, if I counted right. Those numbers are misleading because in reality, the conservative segment of our community seems to be represented by one lone commissioner who can't get past making resolutions because the rest of the board won't second him and allow discussion. Now it appears, because of an on-the-fly rule, it's changed it to 3 supports to go forward. With this board, any conservative proposal won't stand a chance. One possible exception is the Planned Parenthood fiasco. Without the public uproar, I'm sure the Planned Parenthood would still be enjoying their cushy, almost free abortion service in Muskegon County. I don't know, but plan to find out what other councils, commissioners are doing. I see on the news last night, Genesee County just, at least they're discussing Second Amendment. I'm not sure if they voted for it or not, but I want to find out what it takes to get some discussion on these issues. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else? Any final board comment?